filter. It's like 10 o'clock. So I probably won't go out at midnight because I'm eating eggs at 10. But I got 2 Venoms. I got donuts. All white. All white. Yesterday's face paint looks fine. Come on. Nobody presses anything. Watching John Bradshaw Layfield talk about steroids, and he's there drinking Monster Energy drink straight out the can. Bro, dude's a savage, man. Let's go an hour. This is my hour episode. Second one of the day. I drank Venom at breakfast, I think. Just picked up my new pack. I'm watching getting Soviet intel from World War II. There's a couple details I didn't have. How they deploy tracers. Recoilless rifles and howitzers using rifles with tracers. Okay. And we're looking at anti-aircraft formations for infantry. 12 soldiers has a greater area of fire than a single whatever. Who's here? Who's here? It's Elaine Oliveira. I was a bitch in World War. What are we talking about? My family came out of Hamburg. We got hit harder than Hiroshima. You're all bitches. You're all punks, okay? You're all crying about Gaza. Okay, y'all cry so bad about Gaza. But guess what? They hit Hamburg harder. They hit Hamburg harder than Gaza. Okay? And my family comes out of Hamburg. And now as a Hamburg American, do you think they give me fucking special privileges? No. No, they don't. They tried to commit genocide on my people. 1945. Good point, though. Calling me out as a bitch. You had it easy. You had it easy. You didn't do anything in World War II. Come on now, show the channel some love. Get the subs up. We're the firstborn American. There's never been an American of my blood, born on this soil before me. Ain't no Americans, just me. Okay? We don't need the new pack yet. Okay, we'll finish the old pack. You second generation English speakers, you all think you're American. Powerful talking point memo. Really can't top that when it comes to the grandiose propaganda I make out my life to be. Grandiose. American, firstborn American. My mom was born in Hamburg, Germany. Okay. What if I was born in Hamburg because my mom stayed in Hamburg because I should have been a German, or I should be what you call a West German. Yeah, not an East German. Oh, no. The good guys, West German. Yeah, they killed out most of our people. They killed more people in Hamburg than they killed in Gaza. They killed more people in Hamburg than they killed in Tokyo, Hiroshima, and Nagasaki. Okay. You ever see what the bomber formation? It would be about 5,000 bombers. Look like a spinning disc in the air, just going like this over your city. That's what happened. You don't even know what it looks like. Daniel Soto with the Baja California, Guatemala, California. Right? Guatemala is just part of California. Like Baja. That's incorrect. Oh, that's incorrect? Yeah. Oh, you got me. Problem with Brazil is they can't transport all their stuff. And what are they making down there in Brazil? Big plates of food. They can't ship it. Yeah, that's right. They're stuck having to eat everything. They have to eat their own supply. You're cooked, dude. Dude, you're cooked. Gopher exposed me. I thought I was eating room temperature and cold drinks. Like, does the room temperature eggs? Well, I guess they were cooked a couple days ago, right? Okay, pay somebody else to do your cooking. I didn't come to San Francisco to cook for myself. I came to San Francisco so other people will cook for me, okay? So, am I cooked? You accusing me of actually cooking? Nah, you're mistaken. I might heat up some beans in a pan. That's not cooking, bro. Cooking is when you have at least two dishes, okay? You're cooking two dishes at the same time. You're saving up to have something with your macaroni, aren't you? You make your macaroni, you eat it with nothing, right? Yeah. Think about some garlic bread from the grocer's freezer. Goes good with every meal. Now who's talking shit? You want me to put the egg? You want me to become possessed and start speaking? Wait a minute. My favorite game is Belcher. Belcher is my favorite game. I play it. I'm playing this game called Belcher. It's called I get to play me. Okay. And I've been wearing this jersey since '93. That's 32 years. Every day I put my jersey on, it feels like early '90s. I don't need Super Nintendo to capture the vibe, bro. Okay? I don't need that. Not like that. I play me. I got my name on my back. What do you play? It takes 8 minutes to boil water. I ain't waiting that long. Put the beans in, and I boil the beans for 4 minutes, and then I turn it off. I don't fucking make noodles and shit, okay? We're dropping frames. You punk bitch. I love people too. I love white food, like like eggs and powdered donuts. Okay? I don't like white guys. Yeah, fuck white guys. Uh, go pick one. 'Cause I'm not gay. I don't like white guys. Sorry. I like teammates. I think I like Latino men. You know what I'm saying? Oh, just thanks, thanks. Okay, thanks for your approval. I'm from LA, man. I know all about what those stupid white boys are about, bro. See, what white boys don't know shit about LA, bro. Okay? You don't know shit about LA. LA is Latino. Okay? Sorry. 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 You can't change. You can't change. You can't change me, man. I'm like that white guy who was in the Latino gang, but I'm not in a gang. Okay? Well, I really, if you have to respect the Latino men, so so you can be with their women, like the Latino women. Okay, you have to be like a Latino man to be with a Latino woman. Okay, no Colombian porn for you, no Brazilian porn for you. You go watch those lame ass white girls. At a performance level, the Latino is more sexy on camera, guys. Okay, and also the secret of the Latino man is that you don't remember his name, okay? Because they don't. There's no standout performer in the male category for Latino men. Okay, pornography is Johnny Sins from Pittsburgh. Okay, fuck white boys from Pittsburgh like Johnny Sins. Okay, I put my foot down. I'm putting my foot down on the inferior pornography, which is the most Larry Flint thing I can do. It is insult the pornography produced by a culture. Okay. So I'm better off with a big Latino man. I've never seen one, so you know I can watch the Latino women, and I'm not offended because I'm bigger than the man in the scene. Oh, there you go. So any more deep cuts? The pornography industry, that's Los Angeles. What you have to bring out your honky ass East Coast women to learn how to be. Even Walt Disney was in love with the Spanish women. What do you know? You don't know. Let me tell you, I'm going to teach you everything. You want me to press the button? Oh my. In case I missed something you said, it was so important. You wrote it. I think my sound's up. Here we go, computer. SF.
Box 4, and he was a bitch in WW2. Daniel Soto American. Go for face rolling on the floor laughing. Face rolling on the floor laughing. Face rolling on the floor laughing. Daniel Soto Nice. Charge verification. Are you still on drugs?
Yes, about Kyle Shanahan. I think about Kerr. Neither of them are honest. So we lie about the starting lineup. Is Kyle Shanahan pure bad luck? Playing the worst schedule, easiest schedule of the year. It's just who's he gonna? Where's the big victories gonna come? You're just gonna beat a bunch of shit teams. So. Kyle Shanahan, he's just a front for his dad. You want to know, honestly, who do I think is going to win the Super Bowl? If the best case for the Super Bowl, let's say best bowl. A long shot, man. We could see the Dallas versus the Cowboys versus the Broncos, a Super Bowl 12 rematch. Off the top of my head, you have to be scared. Denver is always gonna, but who's gonna win the Super Bowl? They're both long shots. It should be the Chargers. Honestly, if the Chargers don't win it this year, it's really over. They're still the home team next year. They could win Super Bowl 61 as the home team. Over the 2 years, we want the Chargers to have one of them. Doesn't really matter who picks up the second one. You'll probably have to win in San Francisco 2 weeks in a row. Either the 49ers will win the championship here, or they'll lose the championship and then I think the Eagles have fatigue. The Eagles are going to putter out. The Eagles can't push for 3 Super Bowls, so doing 2, they might lose in the Super Bowl. I would, yeah. You know, it's really too far away to call it. The 49ers, they still can make a trade, so we don't even know who's on the team, let alone can we predict if they're gonna. Other teams like the Ravens, they're losing people, right? The Chargers just took some guy from, and well, you know, the Chargers are reinforcing. The strongest team in California, the only team making moves in California is the Chargers. So. A lot of backups are going to play this year. Teams that made trade, that make moves to win. I haven't seen the 49ers do that. So, 49ers, Kyle Shanahan is bad luck. I wouldn't say that. He's a down in the dumps. He's not a spark plug of excitement. Is he on heroin? The typical Philadelphia never wins 2 in a row of anything, let alone the Super Bowl. So the chances that any team in any sport in Philadelphia going back and back is just non-existent. And they've been to 3 Super Bowls recently, right? Or is it only 2? They won 2, they lost 1. They've been in 3 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. As soon as they get to hit that 4, they'll think they're a dynasty. And Jalen Hurts is not good. He can't push the ball downfield. He has a weak arm. Jalen Hurts, hospital passes. Every time an Eagle wide receiver is running around, they get hurt. Eagles, their career ends usually on the field. You don't peacefully retire as an Eagle. They're gonna collapse. But I do think the NFC will win the Super Bowl. Okay. I don't think the AFC is gonna win it. So only a couple NFC teams are gonna lose. Tampa Bay Buccaneers might make the Super Bowl. They probably wouldn't lose. Even it could be the Jaguars. We're going to see strange teams getting hot. It's not as you can't just look at the top four. And every team in the league is awesome. They're all better than the Pittsburgh Pirates. Every team is better than the Pirates. As long as you're not the worst team in sports, you can be a winless team like the Jets. I'd like to have sex with Jet fans. I'm not gonna but do you think I want to have sex with some Pittsburgh Pirate? No. They can go fuck themselves. They can sell the team, trade it for an NBA team, ghetto up there, get a bunch of Democratic first-round draft picks. Almost everybody in the league is 4-1, right? Everybody's going to Pittsburgh for the NFL draft and to have sex and to drip semen in the parking lot. They might need some disinfectant wipes after the NFL draft because nobody's going to get a prostitute. Nobody's going to want to fuck with these Pittsburgh hoes. There's no daycare. the city of Pittsburgh is the butt of the jokes, okay? This dude crossed the line, towed the line. What am I doing? A random seaman in the script, you know. It's almost impossible to move up in the standings, guys. There's 7 good teams in the AFC, 9 good teams in the NFC. You have to remove 2 teams. I'm telling you, the Rams are moving up into the top 7. And nobody is moving up into the top 7 in the AFC. These standings are final. Season is over. I'm saying the season is so mathematically stacked against the top 7 that nobody is moving up in the standings. Nobody. Only if the Bengals can win the North and Pittsburgh hits 9 wins, there's not going to be a wild card in the North. Okay. There's going to be 1 team in the AFC North making the playoffs. It could be the Ravens. It could be a three-way push. But there's not two 10-win teams in the North. Okay, there's going to be a 1 10-win team or 9-win that wins the division. The playoff computer says the NFC you need 10 wins to get a wild card. The race is fucking over, okay? Just that the only thing that's in play is the NFC wild cards. We know the Rams are going to win the West. Chargers are going to win the West. The Jaguars are going to win the South. Tampa is going to win the South. The Colts could be a wild card. Denver is going to win. Denver will be a wild card. Maybe the Chiefs will be a wild card. But painting this picture with 32 teams in here, it's just way too much. Okay, I'm mumbling. Week 5 playoff speculation. Nobody's doing it. Yes, right. At the end of week 7, you'll see the Cowboys are ahead of the Packers in the wild card race. The Packers will be at 8th seed. It'll be, especially if the Bengals beat the Packers, because Joe Flacco already played the Packers. Flacco is ready. I didn't even really mention Joe Flacco last episode, so. Everybody on the Bengals has pretty much met him before, except Joe Burrow. From my speculation, I'm sure they say Jake Browning is pissed. No comments from Burrow yet. No comments. I think I just finished I'm on my new pack. Finished the old pack. Crank up the radio so I can stop listening to my own thoughts.
Couldn't hit the broadside of a bar. Exit Alabama Fresca, exit Swollen Dome, the Jason Smith Show with my best friend, Mike Harmon. Time now to find out what's trending in the wide world of sports from Muncie Belongers, who's had all the latest MLB, NFL news,
all of it.
NHL news
All of
tonight.
it.
She's got it
That's
all.
right.
Wouldn't it be great if we could all play some hockey?
That's
And
that's how they won. I'm just all confused.
They did win by a touchdown.
They did.
I mean, he tried to throw that football over the mountain with that first no extra point, but yeah.
So also, I'm glad you brought that up, Harmon. There's a story that Brianna Muro, my bestie over here, she's like, did you know
Did you just get her name wrong? Your best
Brianna Muro? No.
I thought you stopped and said Brianna Bree. No, she said Bree.
And then I said the full name.
Oh, okay. All right, very good.
Thank
Okay.
you. Listen.
Okay, escuche. Escuche, por favor. Mi dolor de cabeza.
Yo no, I do not have your headache. No, I don't have your headache.
Okay. My Spanish is a little rusty.
It's a smidge. But she was like, did you know that Kyle Schwarber is the only player other than one other guy to hit a ball outside of Dodger Stadium? I was like, that's not right. I was like, I'm a tour guide. That's not right. She's like, no, it's in the story. And she sent me an AP News story about this, and this is incorrect. So I'm going to share with the masses. I was going to say, there's...
Giancarlo Stanton's hit it out twice. Mark McGuire's hit it out.
Willie Stargell twice. Giancarlo Stanton once, you're right. Mark McGuire, Mike Piazza, Fernando Tatis Jr.
I mean, he's cheating.
But it was exactly, we know why.
It was probably written by a Gen Z writer. Oh, it's the first time it's ever happened. No, but there was happening. There's baseball in the 1970s.
It was the first player to do it since Willie Stargell. And it's like, no.
Absolutely not.
Not even sort of. So now we know that it's happened other times. But yes, Kyle Schwarber homered twice today, and the Phillies crushed the Dodgers 8-2. They forced a Game 4. That's going to be tomorrow in LA. Cubs also kept their season alive with a 4-3 win over the Brewers. They scored all their runs in the first inning. Game 4 is also tomorrow. Blue Jays are headed to the ALCS for the first time since 2016 after defeating the Yankees 5-2 in their Game 4. Toronto outscored New York 34-19 in the
New York
series.
sucks at everything.
Yankees manager Aaron Boone said he expects to be back next year because he's under contract. The Tigers scored 9 unanswered runs, and they beat the Mariners 9-3 in Game 4. So Game 5 is going to take place in Seattle on Friday. When it comes to the NFL, a late-night trade. The Jaguars are trading cornerback Tyson Campbell and a 7th-round pick to the Browns in exchange for cornerback Greg Newsome and a 6th-round pick. Bengals head coach Zach Taylor did name Joe Flacco as the team's starting quarterback for their game Sunday against the Packers. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski wouldn't commit to a backup quarterback behind Dylan Gabriel. He said later this week they would make the announcement. Shedeur Sanders, Bailey Zappi are in line for the number 2 spot following the trade of Joe Flacco yesterday. No practice today for Raiders tight end Brock Bowers or for Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. In the WNBA, Aces are 1 win away from winning the title as they edged the Mercury 90-88. Asia Wilson dropped 34 points, including the go-ahead bucket with 5 seconds to go. When it came to hockey, the Kings edged the Golden Knights 6-5 in a shootout. Flames beat the Oilers 4-3 in a shootout. Though Leon Draisaitl has reached 400 career goals, and the Bruins topped the Capitals 3-1, while the Maple Leafs outscored the Canadiens 5-2.
Thank you very much,
I was about to start singing.
Go ahead.
Mr. Scott,
Go ahead,
what you gonna do?
Do the Scott Scott song. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Scott, what you gonna do to make our dreams come true? Hey, Mr. Scott, such an awkward
That's going to be going through your head all day tomorrow.
Well, you know, I'm gonna listen to Taylor Swift. That's been on my head.
Okay.
So it'll come back. I'll be back to singing, you know, Fate of Ophelia.
You listen to Father Figure?
Fate of Ophelia.
You know the fate of Ophelia?
Yes,
She drowns.
yes.
She drowned herself.
Right.
Yeah, she had a
Yes, I
good
knew
run.
she died. What is she? What is
Just
what
like the
is
Hamlet.
she?
Yeah.
Hamlet?
Yes.
She's in Hamlet.
Yes, yes.
Oh, where they all died.
Hamburger Hamlet.
Yes.
Yeah. Hamburger.
They all died, right? In Hamlet. Everybody died.
Yeah, just
Hamburger Hamlet is a restaurant in Pasadena.
She drowned herself.
She drowns herself.
Yes, Fortune Bras.
It was okay.
Jason, just like the Met season. Yeah. Your pocket Chulo. Fortune Bras. There you go. We put a big bow on tonight, Major League Baseball. Give you our picks for TNF tomorrow night. Keep it right here. Jason and Mike. Fox.
MLB fans, the ALCS is almost set. The Toronto Blue Jays are in.
Blue Jays, hate yourself all you want. You will not wake up from this dream right now.
This is your home for MLB playoff news. This is Fox Sports Radio. High-quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and a family-style commitment to care. That's the Heartland's difference. Heartland Steak Co. is your go-to source for premium Midwest meats, delivered straight to your door. Whether you're hosting a backyard barbecue, planning weeknight dinners, or giving someone gift of Midwest flavor, Heartland Steak Co. is perfect for any occasion. Hand cut and hand picked from the Heartland. Our premium
I just watched the bear
selection
attack in
includes
Japan.
prime and choice beef, all natural pork, chicken, and more.
Bear attacks 82-year-old woman.
Online ordering and expertly assembled specials, grill master packages, freezer-filled bundles, holiday gift boxes, all flash frozen for peak freshness. Go to heartlandsteakco.com. Get 2 ribeyes with a purchase of $150 or more. Use code football25. Heartland Steak Co. Your one-stop shop for straight-to-your-door Midwest meat. Taste the Heartland difference at heartlandsteakco.com. Again, use code football25 to get 2 ribeyes with a purchase of $150 or more.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. We've got you covered with outdoor power equipment from Cobalt and everything you need to weatherproof your deck with Trex Decking. Plus, with lawn care from Scott.
You want to listen to some? You want to listen to this?
Are they really unusual? The Germans were well known for their fashion savvy, but these trousers are certainly quite strange. I myself, looking at photos from that era a few days ago, noticed them and wondered why they wore these trousers. More importantly, was it just a fad or was there a reason for wearing these baggy trousers? And as this channel has me accustomed to, after a typical sleepless night of research, I not only discovered the incredible origin of these trousers, but I also discovered their purpose. They were not only a fashion item, but they also served a military purpose, giving whoever dared to wear them an advantage in combat. They weren't even baggy because they were tucked into their boots. On the contrary, they looked like this outside their boots. How strange, right? In this video, we will talk about the history of these unusual trousers in order to understand why the Germans wore these baggy trousers and also what they hoped to achieve with them. So you better get comfortable and welcome to Gunstuff. The history of these curious trousers is as old as Germany itself. Much to the chagrin of the Germans who wore these trousers, the origin of these trousers can be traced back to India. The trousers in question are called jogsford. They were named after the capital of the former princely state of Marwar, located in the present-day state of Rajasthan in western India. The Rachos belonged to the warrior class of India and were experts in all things polo. It is well known that sometime in the 19th century, Sir Pratak Singh, the Madwar of Ader and region, who, obviously being from Jogsford, was an avid polo player, was dissatisfied with the design of traditional polo trousers and one day decided to embark on a quest to produce a garment more suited to the needs of the game. The problem wasn't the way, rather the enormous difference between the skin and the traditional trousers, which simply hurt when playing at the time. So a slightly practical solution was needed. Sid took the traditional chura trousers, more common in India, as a reference and set about creating a new pair of trousers for polo. After months of development, he would create the perfect polo trousers, the Jaybird. These were tied from the calf to the ankle so as not to interfere with the horse's controls, and the fabric was increased in this area to protect against falls and friction. In addition, the areas where there was the most friction were made extremely wide to reduce the damage when riding. By the early 20th century, all polo teams in India were wearing these trousers. They proved to be a considerable improvement over the original trousers. It is said that one day in 1897, Sid himself was invited to England for a commemorative event. At that time, India was under the rule of the British Empire. Therefore, Sid could not miss a call from the Queen. During the weeks he spent in England, he played many polo tournaments and, interestingly enough, Sid won each one of those tournaments. All thanks to the advantage he had over the more traditional British riders. In each match, he used his new polo equipment, which caused a sensation among British royalty. It is said that the only pair of Judah trousers he wore were torn in a game, so he went to a local tailor to have a new one made for him. The tailor asked him what the name of the garment was and, not understanding English very well, he said Jogsford, thinking that the tailor had asked him where it came from. The tailor then began to mass-produce the trousers. Stealing Sid's idea. And in just a year, all the British polo teams also adopted the new trousers. Polo trousers were soon also adopted by the cavalry in the British Army. Their advantages when riding made them perfect for the army. Furthermore, at that time, military uniforms were still being sought to be fashionable, so the jockey pants were perfect. They made the cavalry look like royal polo players. Once in the British military, they quickly spread to all the allied and satellite nations of the empire, also reaching the United States shortly before World War I. They were also a sensation in the United States and Canada, completely taking over any cavalry role. Apparently, Americans perceived anything worn by British royalty as elegant. So they began to be worn by the wealthy for everything from hunting to tennis to racing to just about everyday wear. There was one for every sport, although they didn't really offer.
I get it. Good synopsis. Rajasthan polo. We think the Blue Angels will show up. So San Francisco is eagerly awaiting jet fighters. Potentially, everybody thinks the jet fighters are not going to wake everybody up trying to sleep on Saturday. Can't wait. I'm gonna make it 13 more minutes. This is my hour episode for the day. I'm not making a midnight. There's no 1 a.m. show today. This is it. This is my 1 hour. Chiefs Chris Jones is washed, according to Jason Whitlock. I can see that. We need to find out how that Crimean War started. One go back to there. I'm on the Crimean War Wikipedia. This episode was eggs. Buffalo Bill News here. 823rd view.
The grass is going down at the future home of the Bills, with new video from Skyview 2 showing the sidelines and north end zone alongside a gradient of blue and red seats, getting a touch of green. A view that Wednesday morning abruptly changed for Two on Your Side, who along with other Buffalo media
were told a state scheduled tour was being canceled at the gate. Empire State Development calling it a scheduling conflict with the Bills tonight, despite telling reporters Wednesday afternoon that the team had other plans. Clearly some jockeying between the state and the Bills, who have received $850 million in taxpayer dollars. Erie County Stadium Corporation CEO Steve Rinaldi saying they have pushed the Bills for monthly updates to inform taxpayers during this final year of construction, after which the team...
The Gestapo were once the most feared secret police in Europe, a shadowy...
The Gestapo! What if I actually had my DNA results?
force that enforced Nazi rule through
I don't know.
intimidation and control. When the Third Reich collapsed, its leaders scattered, and the organization itself was branded a criminal organization. Yet the question lingered, what became of the men who ran it? Some stood trial as others vanished, and one, Heinrich Müller, the Gestapo's chief, seemed to disappear into thin air. In the spring of 1945, Nazi Germany crumbled under the weight of defeat. As Allied forces advanced into Berlin, the Gestapo, once the regime's most feared secret police, ceased to exist as an organized body. The institution, which had relied on the Nazi state for power and legitimacy, dissolved in a matter of weeks. Its officers fled, attempted to blend into civilian life, or surrendered to advancing armies. For the Allies, the Gestapo symbolized the machinery of repression, and dismantling it was a top priority. In June 1945, the Allied Control Council formally abolished all Nazi organizations, including the Gestapo. Their offices were closed, records were seized, and former officials were detained. Thousands of Gestapo files recovered from destroyed headquarters in Berlin and other cities became evidence for prosecutors preparing war crimes trials. These documents revealed the depth of the Gestapo's involvement in political persecution, forced labor, and the deportations that fed the Nazi camp system.
A major security breach at a school on Detroit's west side leads to a student getting stabbed by another girl.
And police say the person who slipped her the knife was the suspect's own mother. Fox 2's Jessica Dupek is live outside the school. What happened? And just when you think you heard it all, right?
Yeah, it has us baffled. It has investigators baffled what happened here at Gobbers Elementary and Middle School. And tonight, a 14-year-old girl and her mom are in police custody for what happened out here earlier today. And it all started with a 14-year-old girl, a fellow classmate of the suspects, getting stabbed in the neck and shoulder area. Now, that girl was rushed to the hospital, but she was released, and the suspect, a 14-year-old female classmate, as I said, in custody. Now, police say she and her mom came to the school Wednesday. It appears they went through the metal detectors per protocol. It did.
Steve Kerr is... I'm going to crank up the Steve Kerr speed.
Was there a temptation to bring the Stars back in when they got a little close in the fourth month? The guy scored 51 points. Was I going to interrupt that? They were great.
Of the starting lineup with Al and Draymond playing together to start the game. What worked and what didn't work in your eyes?
Well, I didn't think we were ready to play, so I don't know that we got a good enough look at that lineup to really know. I mean, it should fit with Al's shooting, and got a lot of length and Moses on the ball, but they took it to us right away, and 39 points in the first quarter. We were careless with the ball, so it wasn't a good effort by our team until the second half, and then we got engaged in the fight, and our young guys did a great job.
In a preseason game where you give up 73 in the first half, do you even address that in the locker room? Or
Address what?
if you gave up 73 in the first half, do you address that in the locker
May
room?
or may not have mentioned it. Yeah,
But I mean,
I told the team what I just said to you guys. We weren't ready. We were not. We were careless with the ball. They were flying by us every play. That's a good team. They're going to be good. They're long and athletic, and Chauncey's done a great job with it. I think the last 20 games last year they were like top 5 defensively in the entire league. They've rebuilt their roster, and they have a lot of length and athleticism, and so that first half was, they put on a show.
Yeah, I'd say it looked like they were getting maybe more penetration than you would have liked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they were flying by us, and then we were collapsing probably too much, and then they had a ton of threes. I think they made 10 threes in the first half, maybe. So that was a problem.
Steve, what does it do for a group of young guys that don't get much opportunity to go and have that type of performance when they drop 51?
Well, you want those guys to first, get a taste of experience, and then second to feel a game like this where you have to battle back and fight, and then you want them to have success and feel good about this game. This game for them, for guys like LJ and Will, it makes them, Quentin, it makes this last 10 days of training camp, or 8 days, whatever it's been, feel more successful for them individually. Like they're a part of it, and they've made these strides in these 8 days and gotten to this point where they can help, and it was really fun to watch.
What do you like about LJ?
He's tough, fearless, shoots it really well. I think he shot 43% for Houston last year. Love that he played for a winning program. I told the coaches there's a reason Will and LJ played against each other in the national championship game. They came from great programs, and they're both winners, and it's one of the reasons they're both here. So we really like both guys.
Yeah, more specifically on Will Richard, just felt like his fingerprints were all over this game. What are some of your takeaways from that? Will Richard.
Will Richard, yeah. He just plays with a lot of energy and poise, and plus 21, and I think he was plus 21 or something like that. In 16 minutes, he made a huge impact on the game at both ends. He's smart. He reads the game well, makes the right cut and the right play over and over again.
I know it's not your job, but in the draft, do you view playing at a winning program as kind of an inefficiency or something that goes underrated in the draft?
You're right. It's not my job. I personally like guys who played for someone like Kelvin Sampson, and you know that they've been taught defense and grit, toughness, how to win, and I like guys who've played in big games. That matters, and so both those guys qualify.
It seemed to be a pretty focused camp. Your veterans have been shown some urgency, but you mentioned not being ready to play tonight. What are you writing that out?
I think it's their first game tonight, our second. I thought we were more fired up for our first game. That first exhibition game. You're 5 days into camp. You're literally just coming off summer, and you're back at it, and you're excited. And now the grind starts, and so I just didn't think we had as much energy and focus as they did. But not surprising. But it's a good tape to show. You can't turn it over 11 times, and a lot of them careless plays, lack of spacing, that sort of thing. So we'll show them the clips tomorrow and get back at it.
How would you assess Pat's comfort at this point in the program, and why was it important to have him back this year?
Pat's played great. He's had a hell of a camp. He was a huge part of that comeback. He was the guy running high pick and roll with Quentin, finding him, getting him open, getting the ball moving, and I just love Pat's competitiveness, his fight, his work ethic. Every day in practice, he's ready to go, and he adds a lot to our locker room every day.
Grant Pajemski played point guard there, second part of the first quarter. I was wondering, how important is it for him to get reps at that position as the lead ball handler in preseason?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what he did last year. Even though he was a starter in the second half of the year, he was back in for Steph and
Steve Kerr. Good night, gentlemen. That was my hour. I'll be back for another hour. Whenever.